and welcome. This is Whole and Beautiful. I am Angela the Oliphant, your host, and I am so glad that you all have joined me for another night of information, revelation, and change. And as you can see tonight, I have a guest with me on here tonight, and I am so glad that she agreed to come on and be my guest. We're going to have a great time. We're going to have an awesome time. We're just going to enjoy the conversation. I'm just going to talk to her and have her share some things. But before we do that, I want to remind you all that if you have any ideas or anything that you want to, you may want me to look up to share with you, send me an email, wholebeautiful@gmail.com, and I will get that information out to you and we will discuss it. What kind of topics are you looking at? What kind of topics do you want to talk about? What is it that you want to see in this particular show? We've been doing a lot of different things, and I'm still doing my couples conversations. So if you know of a couple that would like to come on and share, I would love to be able to talk with them and interview them because different people have different ways, the way they do things. You may not do things the way somebody else does it, but it works for that particular couple. And I love talking to people and just finding out how they do what they do when they do. So we're still doing the couples conversations. We're still doing interviews with different people from different walks of life because everybody have their journey. So I want to be able to highlight their journey and share it with you. But tonight I have a very special guest with me. And as you can see, her name is the same as my last name. Hey Josie, how you doing? I'm glad that you were able to tune in. Hey Sierra. Sierra is in on tonight. Thank you for tuning in. But my guest tonight is none other than Elizabeth Oliphant. She is my baby girl, and she is the baby of the family. And I want Elizabeth just to share a little bit about herself, who she is, what she does, and that good stuff. So, Elizabeth, can you introduce yourself to everyone, please?
Hello, I'm Elizabeth Oliphant. I'm Angela's baby child, the one and only daughter. Um, I have two daughters myself, Genesis and Madison. I currently work at a bank with my mom as well. And yeah.
Okay. She's trying the way that she's just sharing herself. It's like it's not that much to me. This is just
It's
it.
not.
But there's a lot. There's a lot. I asked her to come on tonight because I wanted her just to share just a little bit of her story, a little bit of her journey. Because sometimes we look at different people, we don't know their stories, we don't know their journeys, we don't know what they're. We think that we have to go through this a big thing or whatever to have a story or to have something to share, but we don't. What she did not share with you all is that she is a dancer. She does dance. She is an entrepreneur that I see because there's many businesses inside of her that she wants to start. So she is an entrepreneur. She's trying to get that together and work on those things. And she loves different things, and she'll pick up something like the hair and she'll do her own, and she'll pick up the makeup and she does the makeup too. So it's just different things that she has many talents that's on the inside of her, and they're going to start to flourish, and I want to see her walk in a lot of those. um you were saying that you work at the bank. Can you give us a little backstory on that particular job? Because you may see it as just a job, but then the way that that all took place, I think it was the Lord. So can you just share a little bit? You don't have to give, like, we can't be giving the names and all of that or whatever,
Yeah.
but you can share just a little bit on how that all came about for you to work and how we believe that it was the Lord that opened up that door.
Well, I had started at in retail, and then the store that I was working at, closed, and so I had to find a new job, and so I found a new job, and then that one I got laid off because there are differences, but then I had to move, and then I I did work at a call center for a little bit, and then they started cutting hours. And then one day I was just like, I need a new job. So I just applied at the job with my mom. And usually they don't hire like family members, immediate family members, but I went ahead and applied it still. And then I got the job offer like the same week I had my interview.
And that's why we say it was the Lord, because they tell you that they don't hire family members, but that door was open to her. But we're not in the same place. We can't work in the same place together. I can't be like her supervisor and or anything like that. I can't be in that capacity with her. But within the same company, they did give her a job, and for that we are grateful, because at that point she needed somewhere to work, and that was awesome for that to happen. Um, is it your hope or your desire one day to be married? Because you talked about having your kids, and you talked about that you are working and everything. And what the one part that she didn't say, she's a single mom. She's not married. Is that something that you desire? Is that something that you want, or is that something you're saying, I don't know?
Mm, I do desire it, but sometimes I get to the point of I'd rather be by myself and just have the girls. So sometimes it's a hit and miss. But I do desire it. I always desired it. But sometimes I like to be alone
Well,
because
even
I've been
even
by myself a lot. So
yeah,
yeah,
because even in a marriage, though, a lot of people want to have that alone time.
yeah, that is true.
So you're not alone in the way that you're thinking, because even within a marriage, I talked to the Fullers like a few months ago when I talked to them, and they were talking about how they have alone time, even
Yeah.
though they're married and they've been married a long time. They still have their alone time. She has her time where she'll go to the park, she listens to music, she works out, she does her thing. He has his thing that he go do. And she said one day she was just at the park way too long, so he called her like, "You okay?" But she said, "I was just enjoying my alone time because I love me and I want to be by myself." Good evening, Victoria. Thank you for joining. But yes, hi, Diane. Yes, it is. It's a good place to work. But you have that alone time sometimes, even within your marriage. A lot of
Yeah.
people think, if I'm married, I'm not alone, or I know I won't feel lonely, so to speak. But sometimes, even within a marriage, people will feel lonely. Hello, Freeport, Bahamas. Thank you for joining us tonight. I am so glad that you all tuned in to hear on tonight. Thank you again for being with us. Um, what let's see. I got so many different questions I want to ask you, but I want to get all of them in. So I'm trying to make sure that I put this cadence in right. Um, when you were in school,
Hmm.
what was your dream? Hello, Toronto, Canada. Thank you for joining us tonight. What was your
Mm,
dream like in school when you started out? You going to school and stuff. You said, "I'm going to do what?"
when I was younger, I always wanted to be a fashion designer. That was
Okay.
like my main goal. And then as I got older, I wanted to be a wedding planner.
Is that something else? Is that are those dreams still things that you want to do, or is it something that you're saying, I don't want to do that anymore?
I do want to come out with a line. I just I don't think I would want to be like the design. I want to be the designer, but I don't want to do like I can't draw. So I think
You
I had the ideas, but I'm not gonna be the designer. I'll probably have somebody else to do it.
well, you would have the design in your head, is what you're
Yeah,
saying, of what you want it to look like. But if it came to drawing it out, you would have to get somebody else to draw it out. But you could tell them what you wanted.
yeah.
Have you looked at being like a stylist? Like people have stylists now that style them for different events. Is that something that is connected to what you're designed to do?
Mm, I've thought about styling people. Like I style you sometimes, but I don't think I would want that. Mm, I won't. I wouldn't want that pressure on me because if somebody goes out to an event and it don't look right, it falls back on me. So I don't think I want that pressure.
So you would look at that as too much pressure.
Yeah.
I was like, with the designing, no, with the putting together the outfits and all the other things. That's sort of like the designing of it all. But I understand what you're saying because everybody's going to be looking at that particular outfit. So it depends on where they are or whatever. But I think that you're good at what you do. So
Mm, oh, thank you.
you probably could do really good at that, and you have the ideas in your head of how to put the things together. So that may be something that you may be looking into. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Um, how is it being a single mom?
Um, it's interesting.
Do you
I mean,
feel? Go ahead.
no, I mean, it has its pros and cons, like anything else. But I mean, I get it. I love it. Not the being the single mom is they have like a stigma on it,
Right.
like it's so horrible. I mean, it gets rough at times, it gets stressful at times, but it's not for me. It's not as bad as people seem.
So you look at yourself. It's like okay, it's not like the single mom thing. It's like I'm a mom.
Yeah,
Got it. Because it is interesting though, because she says she has two daughters, and these two daughters were born the same day.
yeah.
she has she has twin girls, so it can be interesting because she doesn't have any other children, and then the first that she has is twins. So
Twins.
that's interesting. That makes for a eventful day. With this year is coming up on your 30th birthday in about
Hmm.
what um oh really almost in about a month.
Hmm.
So how do you feel? Do you feel any different getting ready to turn 30, getting ready to leave your 20s? Then do you feel different? Is there something that you're saying, something I got to do because I'm 30?
Um, I'm excited. It's. I mean, I feel different about it because it's like when you're younger, you're like, I wonder where I'm gonna be at when I'm 30. But I think I'm ready for it. It's gonna be interesting, but I'm ready for it.
And that's good because a lot of people get ready to turn 30, and I have seen some people so upset about turning 30. I know when I turned 30, I was so excited. And I couldn't explain it to anybody else. I couldn't tell them the reason why I was excited. I was telling them it was my birthday and everything, but I made myself my own cake. I didn't even ask nobody to go get me a cake. I would have made my own cake. I did my own little thing that day and just was excited about me, just me being me. I kind of
Hmm.
settled into being who I was, so to speak. So I was excited about that. So you said that you're excited about turning 30.
Hmm. It's gonna be interesting, but
She said it's gonna be interesting.
it's gonna be interesting.
Oh my goodness. So with you, do you have like plans of what you want to do, like for your 30th, or is there, are you just kind of weighing it out, kind of seeing what is it that you really would want to do?
Mm, right now, I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do because I did take off for my birthday. So, and this is like the first year I've actually had my birthday, like the whole week off. So, I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do.
Yeah. Treska is on. Hey, Treska, thank you for joining. She said that she would love for you to style her. See?
Got you.
And then Diane, I saw that Diane said she's been married for 43 years and she still has to have her me time. And
Yeah.
yes, see, even at 43 years in, you have to have your me time. Good evening, Paula. I am so glad that you joined us. And Lady Johnson, thank you for joining us. I'm so used to saying Tresca, you know. But Lady Tresca Johnson is on it. I'm glad that she is on too. I wanted to ask you, Lizzie, is there something that you still like desire to do? Like you were talking about all these different things that you had an idea of maybe what you wanted to do. Is there something that you like still in your heart? You're saying, I really want to accomplish that. I really want to go after that.
I still want to open up like a boutique because I know when I was younger, I had a best friend and we always had this plan of opening like a clothing store. I think I
Yes.
still want to do that, but
So that is something still, it's still within that fashion thing, still within that clothing line. I'm telling you, you should try. You should really try that styling thing. You never know what's going to come about. Because didn't you were the buyer at one of the retail stores that you worked at, correct?
yeah, I was the buyer for Brahmin and Michael Kors.
And you did well with that.
Yeah, true. You're right.
So you never know. And then even when you worked at one of the retail stores, you were the one that dressed the mannequins and put this clothes and stuff together to draw people in when they saw the outfit.
That is true.
Yes. So you need to rethink that styling thing.
That is true.
You can rethink that styling thing on the side. Oh my goodness. What encourages you like on a day-to-day basis? Like you are a single mom, you have your daughters there, you're working
Hmm.
outside the home, you have to go to work, you got to make your money so that you can take care of you and take care of your children, take care of your girls. What encourages you and motivates you on a daily basis to keep moving, keep going?
Mm, I would say the girls, because honestly, even though the way that the girls came about, I think if I wouldn't have had them, I think I wouldn't. I probably would have been doing some crazy stuff. But I
That
think
you
they're like
would
my
see where you
motivation.
are now.
Say that again.
I said that you would feel like you wouldn't be where you are now if you didn't have the girls.
No, I think I mean, I probably eventually would have been where I'm at now, but I probably wouldn't have got here as soon.
Okay.
It probably would have been like later down the line.
All righty then. So your motivation is your girls. Have you do you have like an encouraging quote or encouraging scripture that keeps you motivated during like the course of the day, or when you having a day where you're like, oh man, I'm tired.
Mm, I don't. I don't really have like an encouraging quote or that keeps me going. I
Hmm.
always, when I was staying with the girl's godmom, she always told me, she was like, at the end of the day, you always have your name and your word. So a lot of things that I've done and like keep doing, I mean, I'm still working on it because sometimes I tell people I'm gonna do something, but I get tired. But that's like what pushes me because she was like, "You always have your word and your name."
So
So
she was like, make that name great and make that word like solid.
yeah,
That's true though. All these other things may not be around, but your name and your word. That's something that my granddad always taught us. He was like, be a person of your word.
hmm,
If you say you're gonna do something, do it. And then he was real excited about the name. And Lady Johnson was saying, "Wow, you have such a gift. Go for the boutique." And you do. You need to push forward for that boutique because it's in you. And I've seen it in you like since early on. It's like it's always been in you to do. And just do the research. Start doing the research. See what you have to do in order to get it started. Because the way that where people are doing things now, you can even do it from your own home.
yeah,
And they get on and they show their outfits and stuff. And this is number so and so, and this is number so and so, and they ship that stuff out. And you
yeah,
never
that is true.
know just by putting those things together what's gonna happen.
That is true.
Oh my goodness. Um, we talked about this briefly like a couple of days ago or whatever, but and I talked to your brother, the one that is not married. I
Hmm.
talked to him about the same thing, and I told him, I said, some people say the dating pool has pee in it, you know. But and he was like, oh man, it's for him. He was like, he said, well, there's some good people out there, but it's just the way that people are now. How is it with you desiring to be married, you want to be married, you want to date, but then you have your girls. How do you balance all that, and what do you do in a situation if you saying, okay, I want to date?
Mm, usually, I go if I meet somebody and then we eventually go out. We've talked for like a few days or at least a week, I would say. And then usually if I have a free weekend, I would go out on a date. And sometimes when you have a free weekend without your kids, you don't want to go out on a date. But I was like, sometimes you gotta make that sacrifice if you want to have like marriage later down the line.
Yeah, it's like I
So
can't just sit in the house and be like, oh, I want to be married, and thinking that they're going to knock on the door.
yeah, like they're not gonna just pop up at my house. So usually when what I try to do is if I have a free weekend, sometimes I'll go out usually, or if not, then I mean I'll still talk to people, like talk to them up until I'm ready to actually meet them.
And I just saw where Miss A. Thank you for joining, Miss A. She has said she was talking about your dreams can come true if you believe. You
Yeah.
gotta believe it and push it, girl. See, everybody on that dream, you gotta dream and believe it and push forward with it. So, hi,
Hey,
Julie.
Julie.
So, with you in the like the dating scene or whatever, if you're in that dating scene and you have your non-negotiables, things that you said, okay, I ain't gonna negotiate on this at all. Is that something that you see as far as like with people dating that they bring up at the beginning, or they did just kind of ride it out to see if the person going to do what they don't like? I heard some people. I heard it from both sides. One person I heard was saying they don't tell the guy anything that they like because then they can set it up and try to be that person. So
Hmm.
they don't say anything about what they like and what they don't like. They just kind of watch and see what they do. And then other people, they say they lay it down in the beginning. lay out everything. This is what I want. This is what I don't want, because I don't want to waste my time. How do you see it?
I see it both ways. Like, if somebody asks me, what do I like in a guy? I usually try to steer from that. Uh, because then it's like, oh, I'm trying to be who you like type.
Right.
But usually, if it's a non-negotiable, I'm gonna say it up front because I have kids. I can't wait till we going down the aisle. Then it's like I can't do this. Like
That would
I'm
not
gonna
be
tell
the
them up front.
term.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. How soon in dating do you make it known to them, as far as like, okay, I got children? Do you tell them like up front, hey, I got kids? And I know you normally you'll wait. The girls don't even know who you dating or whatever, unless you thought it was going somewhere. But um how soon into dating, or are you open to share that? Do you share that up front?
Mm, I yeah. Everybody that I've talked to, they've known I had kids because usually if they call me on the phone, they're gonna hear Madison and Genesis in the background anyway.
Yeah.
So I can't hide them per se. So I just go ahead and tell them up front that they are twins and they're two girls. I usually wait until I know that we're in a good relationship to bring them around because the girls get attached easily.
Right.
So I just usually try to wait on the meeting part.
Okay. So how is adulting for you?
It's ghetto. It's ghetto.
Why would you say it's ghetto? Tell me why.
Cause it's bills, It's like you're working. I mean, I'm grateful for the job. It pays the bills, but getting up every single day early to go to work for 8 hours, then come home and go to sleep and do it all over again. Yeah, it was better when I stayed at your house.
So
If I
she
could go
said
back,
it
I
is
would stay longer.
ghetto.
It is ghetto.
Oh my goodness, I didn't expect that answer, but yeah, okay. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna ask you this. If you don't know, we can bypass this. But I thought of this question, and I wanted to ask you,
Hmm.
what woman in the Bible do you identify with most? And if you identify with one, why is it that particular woman from the Bible?
Mm, what woman?
Yeah, what woman in the Bible? Because I thought about that question. I was like, oh, that's a good question. I'm gonna ask and
Mm,
see. If you don't have one, it's fine. I just thought it was just a great question.
I don't know. Honestly,
Oh,
I don't know.
it's so many in there. It's like, could it be Elizabeth?
True, you're right. That is true.
Oh man.
I don't know. I really don't know.
It could be a Mary. It could be, it's just so many. It could be a Deborah who led the people. It could be, and I can't even think of her name right now. Why is that so wrong? Because she was a maker of purple. She had all these different um oh my goodness, different materials, different cloths and different things that she made stuff. I think, was it Dorcas? But she made stuff, and she was more like the clothing person. So I was just wondering. I'm like,
I don't know.
So if you had, and we're doing like some random questions right now, but if you had a superpower, if you could have a superpower, what would your superpower be?
Be in two places at once.
To be in two places at one time. Oh,
Hmm.
okay. didn't think about that one. Most people say, they want to fly or they want to be able to do things fast. You want to be in two places at once. Wow, so you could be at work and at home.
Exactly.
I love it. That is so good. So that's a good one though. That is good. I didn't even think about that, but that is
Mm.
good. That's good. Wow. What was the last gift that you gave somebody?
The last gift I gave
Yeah, the
somebody,
last gift that you gave somebody.
um, I think it was a edible arrangement. The
Okay.
last gift I
I'm
gave
just
somebody.
asking. It's like these are just like my little random questions or whatever. But it's something though, because we don't think about that. It's little stuff that we don't think about. And she is a giver, y'all. My daughter is a giver. She has a big heart and she gives. And I thank God for her giving heart. She really loves to give to other people, and she will give her time, she will give her energy. And what we say is that she need to give some of that back to herself. But she'll do it. She is such a giver and she has a great heart to give, and I applaud that. What kids movie do you love to watch that people wouldn't know that? Oh, Lizzie like to watch that kids movie. What kids movie interests you that you was like, oh, I'll watch that again?
Mm, I like Sing One and Sing Two, and I like
Okay,
Zootopia.
okay, that's good. I like those too. Oh, if you could choose a song that would play every single time you walked into a room, what would your song be?
Every time I walked into the room,
Yeah, when you would walk into a room, your theme music would play. What would be your song?
mm,
You got so many that's out there.
I don't know. A theme song?
Yeah, cause like
Mm,
well, you know me.
I
Um,
don't know.
I got huh?
I don't know. There's too many songs to choose
It
from.
is. It's a lot because you got what is that Jill Scott song "Living My Life Like It's Golden"?
I thought
I
about
know
that
one
one. That's the
person that
first one that
that
came to my
plays
head.
that a lot. So what.
That's the first one that came to my head.
And then oh Lord, I can't even the song that was my song for so long and it still is my song. This is me.
Yeah.
I love that song, so I might choose one of those too. But yeah, it's a bunch of songs out there. But I just was wondering, do you have a theme song? Um, if you were your best friend, what
Hmm.
advice would you give to you?
Live your life for you, and whoever's supposed to be there will be there.
Okay. Good advice. Good advice. Good advice. If you were given $50,000 to start your own business,
Hmm.
what business would you start?
I would start my clothing line. Well, yeah, my clothing line
Okay.
and
And
my
you have a name for
boutique.
it? You don't have to tell us, but do you have a name for it?
What, the line?
Yes.
Hmm.
Okay, wonderful. Girl, write the business plan. You never know who will give you some money.
I know, right?
Yes, I said you never know. You just got to be prepared and be ready for the opportunity. Get all your stuff lined up, write everything down that you can write out, and be like, and put everything together. Because I know you got it up here. You got it in your head. Get your
Yep.
business plan and all your stuff together. So when the people say, "Hey, here's your money," you can be like, "Yep, I can go ahead and get started." If you had a time machine, would you travel to the future or would you travel to the past?
I would travel to the future because I would want to see where I'm going. It'd be like I
So
want to see
you
what's going to happen,
okay? So you would rather go like in the future?
so I can
Yeah,
prepare myself.
got you. Okay, good answer. What act? What actor would play you in a movie about your life?
What actor? Mm, ew.
Is it hard to choose?
An actor that would play me.
Yeah, actress that would play you in your life story. If they're gonna do a movie about you, who would you choose to say, "Oh, I want them to play me"?
Um, I think my younger self, I would probably pick Kiki Palmer. My younger,
The younger.
yeah. Older, um,
She said, "Do you need a senior division for that clothing line?"
I think
Oh,
I don't know who I would choose older because
there's nobody like in mind that you would say,
nobody in
"Oh,
mind that I would be like, oh, that's somebody.
that could play you."
Yeah.
Okay, if you were having a dinner party and you could invite three famous people, what three famous people would you choose to come to your dinner party?
To come to my dinner party, it would be CC Winans.
Okay.
Um, who else?
You
Famous.
get a choice of three now.
Three.
Yeah, you get a choice of three people. And if you had, you could bring those three people into a room to a dinner party with you. You say you'll bring in CC Winans. Who else would you bring into that room with you?
Um,
Listen, like, let me have my one on one with CC and I'll be good.
exactly. Um, I would say yes, CC Winans. I would say Melissa Fredericks.
Okay. I can
Um,
see that. Okay.
and Tabitha Brown.
Okay, Tabitha, you did a wide array of people, and that's good. You would do Tabitha Brown, Melissa Fredericks, and CC Winans. Ooh, I would love to come to your dinner party. I would love to be in on that party. Oh my goodness. Yes. That's good, Lizzie. The last question that I'm gonna get in here, I may be able to get the other one in, but this one, where do you see yourself like within the next 5 years? What is it that Elizabeth Diane Alford wants to be doing
Not the
within the next
government.
5 years?
Um, I would say owning my own house, having my business up and running, married, maybe a child, another one. Yeah, and living life.
Okay. Oh, that's a lot in the next 5 years, girl.
That's 35. I ain't 30 yet.
Yeah, you'll be like 35. Yeah. Okay, I see what you're doing. Um, as we're getting ready to close up the close down and everything and come to the end of all of this, what is it that you want people to remember or to know about Elizabeth? You know, what thing would you want somebody to remember you by? What would you want somebody to say about you? Even if you were not in a room and they could be discussing you and it was all good things, what is the one thing that you would want them to say about you?
Mm, that she has a good, that I have a good heart. Yeah. And that I'm,
Okay.
yeah.
That you have a good, yes, that's good. That is so good. Well, Lizzie, you did good. I thank you for joining me. I hope you had fun during this interview.
No, no
Um,
problem.
and I hope to bring you back and try to bring some other people back within your range. And I wanted to ask this too before we go.
Hmm.
With today's church and today's the way things are going, people within your age group, a lot of people I hear them in your age group who are saying, you know what, we're not going to church like our parents did. And some of them were saying that they feel guilty about it. Some of them saying, oh, we need to get back in church because we were brought up in church. What are your feelings about it, and what do you think would draw people in the age group that you're in to come in to church?
Um, honestly, I think the well, my age group, I think they will come to church. I think it's more so it's I think it's like the drama that sometimes comes behind it, because it's like they you have people my age that loves God, they want to be in church, they will serve and all that. But I think it's more so the stuff that they if it wasn't drama attached to it, I think it would be like they would church would have to change to conform to make it like pleasing for us. I don't think. I think it's just you have to be real.
Okay. You like,
Yeah.
okay, don't be this over here and then be that over there, because then people be like, I ain't got time for it, so they
Yeah.
kind of pull back.
Cause I mean, there's still people that's my age that still go to church, and they go to like a normal church, but they want the realness of it. They don't want the drama behind it.
Okay, okay. Well, I do. I thank you. Is there anything else you would like to share before we sign off for tonight? Okay. Well, listen, I thank you for
You're
joining me
welcome.
tonight, for agreeing to be on my show. I think it went well, and I think that we learned a lot about each other and learned a lot, just different things. I love the people that you want to have though at your dinner party. That makes me think. But anyway, I appreciate you coming on tonight. I thank you for being with me tonight, and I want you to come back too, because I'm gonna get some of you all together and have some discussions and find out what it's like being in your 30s and what it's like being out there in your 30s and living, being an
Yes.
adult. She was saying adulting is ghetto, so I am
It is.
trying to see if adulting is gonna change within the next few years. Maybe, maybe not. Let's see. But guys, I thank you all for joining me tonight. Elizabeth, I thank you again for joining me on tonight. Make sure that you tune in again tomorrow at 4 p.m. where this show will do a replay. And let somebody else know. It's like let them tune in and hear the interview. I think that they will learn something. I think that they will grab something from this that will help them to keep pushing for their dreams, keep walking where they need to walk, and just to believe that it can take place, because it can. Because I already see you there, Lizzie. I already see you there. So I know you're going there. We already see it. But you all have a good, great weekend. Enjoy your weekend with your family. This is Labor Day weekend. Enjoy it. Have fun with your family. Get in contact with somebody that you haven't talked to in a while. Let them know that you're thinking about them and that you love them. I am Angela D. Oliphant, allowing you to see, hear, and know that whole and beautiful is not just your destination. It is most definitely your journey. Join me every week, my whole and beautiful nation. I look forward to seeing you guys again next week, 7 p.m. on Friday. Until we meet again, good night. Have a good night, everybody. Love you.